In this lesson we're going to learn how to draw a straight line given an equation of a straight line. Now this bit here in the white, y equals 2x, is called the equation of a straight line. And it's really a formula to generate a y coordinate given an x value. So what happens here is, to get a y coordinate you double the x value. Now if you don't know what x and y coordinates are, I'll just remind you of that. If you take the point 3, 4, you should know that tells you to go along 3 and up 4 places. Well, this first coordinate is called the x coordinate because it tells you to go along the x-axis. This second coordinate is a y coordinate because it tells you to go up and down the y-axis. So 3 along, 4 up. Now if we can generate some coordinates, we can draw a straight line through them, and we use this equation here to generate the coordinates. The other thing you'll notice is this table. This is called a table of values. And in order to generate the coordinates, we need to pick some random x values. Now the x values can be absolutely anything you like. However, it's common practice to have this table here going from -1 to 2. Sometimes when there's fractions involved in the equation, we use even numbers here. But what you need to do is be able to be prepared to have any x values. Say there was a table in a test and it had 2, 4, 6 and 8. Up here you should be able to generate the y coordinates from that. So let's have a look at this one here. This is a generic table. It's quite often used in tests and in textbooks. It goes from -1 to 2. So to generate the y coordinates, you look at the equation. Now the equation up here is telling us to get the y coordinate, that's equal to 2 lots of the x coordinates, basically doubling the x coordinate. So if you substitute that x value in here first, you double it, the y value will be 4. Okay, so the y value is 4 when the x value is 2. What's the y value when the x value is 1? So you've put a 1 up in here and you times it by 2. So basically doubling 2 gives you 2 there. Same idea with 0. When x is 0, the y coordinate, 2 lots of 0 is 0. And the last one, -1. When x is -1, you're doubling it, so y value must be -2. Now the other thing you notice when you're plotting straight line points is the distance between these points in the bottom should all be the same. You can see it's going down in 2's there. If it wasn't consistently going down in 2's, you've probably done something wrong. Right, so that's me generated some coordinates. The coordinates are read down the way, so like this. There's a coordinate 2, 4. There's a coordinate 1, 2, 0, 0, and -1, -2. So there's all my coordinates. I can now plot them, and then I can construct a straight line through them. Okay, so what that should look like if you've done your -1, -2, well, that's -1 and down 2. You can plot a point. We said this was 0, 0. That's just the origin. 1, 2, 1 along and 2 up. And the last one was 2, 4, wasn't it? So that would be a way up here, but we don't have that. So I can connect up what should happen here. There's your straight line there. And that's you finished. You've constructed a straight line. Okay, I'm going to move on to a slightly more complicated equation. In this equation, we're going to do exactly the same thing. Same table of values, but the equation this time is y equals 3x plus 1. So to get the y coordinate now, given these x values, you have to times the x value by 3 and then add 1. Here's a written description of what's happening. The y coordinate of any point in the line is 3 times the x coordinate plus 1. Again, you could have picked any x values you liked. As long as you can get 3 points or 4 points, you can join them up and create your straight line. Make sure your straight line is going right through the diagram. Okay, so when we are, let's do the first one, let's do 2. So when I substitute 2 in here, I do 3 times 2, which is 6, add 1, and that gives you 7. So an x value of 2 makes a y value of 7. An x value of 1, 3 lots of 1 is 3, add 1, that makes 4. 0, let's substitute 0 in here. 3 times 0 is nothing. plus 1 is 1, and you can see it's going down in threes. Last one, substitute in negative 1. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, and if you add 1 to that, you get negative 2. So as before, I've now generated 4 coordinates, 2, 7, 1, 4, 0, 1, and negative 1, negative 2. And if I was to plot those, there's negative 1, negative 2, there's 0, 1, there's 1, 4, 1 along and 4 up, and 2, 7 would be 2 along and 7 up. Join them up with a straight line, and you've finished.